What's up, guys? Welcome to the first stream of the year. Hello, Nazu. Hello, Bandana. Doing chat there. Oh, and Goofy Critter. Hello. I don't think I've seen you in chat before, so welcome. Welcome to the first stream of the new year. And we're going to be doing some Railroader with friends. We don't have friends in chat at the moment, but maybe at some point we will. We're just getting some things fired on up here. Did a little bit of work off camera, did some log trains, just to make a little bit of money. So hopefully that works out. And the like. PR, hello. Welcome back. I do want to start as the game's loading in here. Get in game. I do want to start by saying thank you we have reached 500 subscribers on the channel, which is something I never really thought I would ever do on my silly little YouTube channel. So thank you for that. It is greatly appreciated. Hopefully here soon we get to the correct milestones, and we can get some monetization going, maybe. But as you can see, we're in East Whittier once again. Gonna have to fire it up here. Let's see here. Right. Well, we got our hoppers back, which is good. Both those are important. We only have 3 cars going further than the sawmill. Standard Oil. Yeah. Okay. We have 3 cars, so our local freight going west. Entering number there. We'll have to go and deal with. But it's only a 3-car train. Unfortunately, that means a little poor 060, because we have an 060 if you remember last time. We'll have to handle a bunch of cars, but that's fine. Yeah. We're gonna pull out some engines here and start doing some switching. No, Bloom, did I hit the hours yet? According to YouTube, I'm at 2,400 hours, which is a lot more than I thought I would be at. So we're almost there, but we'll see. So you had some fun Railroader last night, may have done something for the first and hopefully not last time on the DRR. Well, I hope it was fun at least. Alright. Number 4 out here. Start doing some switching. For those wondering, I have not installed the whistle mod yet, even though I have access. I'm waiting until it's publicly released in order to really accentuate that. So we're gonna be sticking with some old reliables here. Those old reliables being yep, there it is. Perfect. There's a hangover cure for the new year. Spreading sick. Noah's been watching all of my vids. I appreciate it. Ooh, Nazu, you did a triple header. Excellent. I hope it went well. Right. The 060, which is in desperate need of some water and some coal. Luckily, the all we need is over there, so we just need to go get it. Doing that and putting some trains together here. Usual time frame. We're taking about 3 hours here. Going until about 5 o'clock. Who knows? Maybe some friends will join us. Maybe. Entirely up to them. I know there's quite a few people who are like, it is New Year's Day, I partied, I'm gonna sleep. So I don't blame them one bit. I don't blame them one bit. Yeah, we got some new motive power. You may remember number 4 used to be a Little Pacific. The Little Pacific's still here, but it's now number 6. And based out of Bryson. Basing some stuff out of Bryson now. Trying to do some fun thing. What happens here? We're actually gonna back all the way through. We're gonna grab these 3 cars and tack them on. This car, of that over. So weird hearing such a loud whistle on a little end. Oh. For those who don't know, this engine's actually not just the sawmill and yard switcher down here. This engine actually is going to be doing the logging run. With number 2 handling the local freight, which is going to be weird because number 2 can handle more tonnage than number 4 can, but in theory has more range. So it's going to be a little weird how that works, but we're going to make it work. Also, the amount of waddle this little engine has, it's hunting side to side here really a lot. That's kind of... Brakes. Less brakes. Sure thunk. Air in. Everything. Even supposed to be everything, but that's fine. Air. Or air. Because it went surprisingly well up the very steep grade, which is good. That was the first 3 locomotives in the buy menu, hauling over 1,000 tons. Brooks with the first bridge train. Oh, jeez. Okay. So, okay. That's all I have to say to that is, oh boy. Here again. Upper. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Oh, I haven't seen you before, so welcome! Welcome to the new people! Really appreciate you joining us today. Like what you see? All I can ask is that you like the video and subscribe, and hopefully I entertain you. And has you fun times, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it was fun times. Hello to the new people. Welcome. Always nice. How goes it, party people? Well, not much of a party. We're going for some chill vibes here. However, scuffing hair all over the place. Come on. Finally. Now let's recharge the air. Hello, Plainsman. Haven't seen no. Hey, I finally catch my. Happy New Year. Gavin, just so you know, we stream fairly regularly. Probably a little more regularly than I'm intending to, but hey, that's how it works out sometimes. Usually around 2 to 3 turns when we start, and we usually end around 5 to 6. Just so we don't interfere with any of the other content going on, hopefully. On to Zoom Monday, office hours, things like that. Not the air is recharged. Boxes update. Yes, they do. I would agree. We'll click the switch. Front clears, not one coupler. But hopefully that's something. Y'all are embracing pretty much. That right there real quick. Grab this hopper. This hopper belongs. Full loader. Huh. Break. They're good. Bakes are good. Oh, really? Somebody didn't closely have a talk on this. That's another thing I wish would update. That angle clocks were naturally closed. Are. But hey. This over. Question I feel is good to ask. What locomotive do you think had when? I think there's already been attempts to add locomotives. RS-13.5. I know that's still a work in progress. It looks great. I know it's still a work in progress. So, unfortunately, that question kind of already got answered. I think a lot of people, for better or for worse, are going to try and add the big boy, just because of the meme. That's just my personal take on it. They may surprise me. They may one of the first locomotives, and people are going to try adding. Robert, hello there. F unit. RS series. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Robert. They were there is an RS-1325 out. Still a work in progress, but it looks really. Technically, the RS-1325 answered that question, but locomotive, I think, is going to be one of the first ones. Probably couldn't, because of knowing the community and everything, because of the memes. Memes are strong, good, funny. There are definitely going to be attempts to add the big. I can see it already. Like which is the BL2. BL2 would be neat. BL2 would be neat. 207 probably. 2. It would be. I don't know one specifically. It added. Robert would take a 2680. Oh, what was it? The Great Northern that had those? I think it was. Didn't they have bell pairs on them too, or was it those one of the ones that did? Tractor load. Yeah, maybe. Southern had it. Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know Southern had a few of the two. I was unaware. As many of you probably know, I am not a Southern aficionado. Some would say. There are definitely a lot more people that know a lot more about that than me. Car is spotted. Days are more than likely numbered that someone adds a certain. If they do, I hope they at least do the version that actually runs on. All I will say. Southern Toast want the option to add a boost truck to the tender. Ah, so you want an Allegheny boost. Or is it? Or is it an Appalachian boost? It's the new year, guys. I'm sorry. Also, Kenosha's playing. Oh, crap. Macau would be nice. Yeah, would be. Don't get me wrong. 19 is great. 19 is wonderful. Oh, bigger mic. Like, oh, I don't know. 4501. Trying to park at the coal loader. Oh, how I like them. Thousand. Oh, those S100s. Yeah, I know about those. Heard about those. Those are cool little engines. Sims 3. Hello! Welcome! Thank you for joining us. Well, you're in luck. The S100 didn't just go to Britain. A few of them are still around, and a couple of them are under restoration. So, luckily, I actually don't have to worry about the Brits in that instance. Heard about the 5. Did hear about Mount Rainier 5. I saw that they were cutting the tubes out of it. Good. Progress is good. Hope that Mount Rainier folks have a good time with that, and that they don't find too many issues. I know they're anticipating some, but fingers crossed. Something with a little more range than a logging tank. And good. Good. Learn on lift and load. Yeah. Alabama Grand Southern order 2 potatoes. 9 tonight. 8! Backing out. Out and get Water. I just left that coasting there. There. We're gonna pack on these. Weighs more than the G. Uh-oh, what are we misremembering? What are we misremembering? Wait a minute. If we're misremembering it, how do you know that we're remembering it? Wait a minute. No. Mustachio. Oh, just them switching. Kinda it. Not sure really. Bowling and engines. Trying out the way I think I want this to run, and we're seeing. Misremembering that the S-23 isn't him. What to say, that wouldn't entirely make sense. So if it was, I would be like, Jeff team, please fix that. But Unk. Huh? No. Water 2. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, this is what happens when you don't pay attention, folks, and get distracted by a text message. Luckily, I think the engine's still usable. Yeah, don't talk about this. No. Nope. Not looking anywhere. Imagining things. Nothing happened. It's fine. Everything is fine. Fine. Everything is fine. God. No. That trigger. Nope. Fine. Fine. Thank you for this one. Fine. Fine. But he was harmed. Fine. Safety rating totally not like Italy. Fine. Luckily, this will be going to Bryson. Do it with East Figure and we have two. My higher. Actually, Bryson and my one. Both. I'm gonna tie in the air. Think. Line. Number 2. Bryson. Yeah, you probably know what I'm trying to do. Bryce. Here's number 2.
Contracts are grand final.
Train World's always a safe bet. They're pretty stable. I would not buy, frankly, because price. Train World is always a good start. If you or a local hobby shop, will always be my recommended go-to. Yeah. eBay is also a good spot. Yeah, those kind of work. Alrighty. Buy number 2. I'm using. Let's see. Not cool. For error because got luckily we'll put all this in. Up Bryson will go away. 3. And number 5 game. For those curious, we are still in a little bit of debt. About $19,000 in debt, but we have $2,700. I'm saving up for it though. I could pay the debt a little bit, but I want to see. Oh, awesome. Or I may just pay down the debt. That is bad. Down the debt. See. Cars. First thing. Or so good. where any cars for gotten by Bryson. Yeah. Car for run up and go. Also, for this one, we are on day 13. Getting somewhere.
Getting somewhere.
About to get some. Whee! We'll say the bridge train. Of course, I missed my switch. They suck. Why is eBay? eBay is cheap if you don't know what you're looking for. First of the future. Animal? Stuff can be found. An eye out. Always good to have this, like having this, having some actual. no, I'm not buying a Berkshire. No. That is not happening. Not on the QNS, at least. QNS does not believe in motive power that large. Oh, that sounds like one of those kits. Be careful with that. Sometimes it's a kit and not actually a full-blown missile. Longs. Or to the interchange. I don't believe in motive power that big. That's the other thing. As he's correct there. Right now I only have Bryson to Whittier. That's all I have. Even if I felt the need at all to have such a, it would not make sense. I'm playing my favorite loco so far in this game. The K-35 Logging Mikado. Easy. Oh. Got the rifle back? But yeah, we're going to actually change. Go deal with number 2 and some stuff up in Bryson. Yep. Prototype. Maybe. I'm missing. Bird speed. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Doing fine. Everything's fine. Fine. I'm saying everything's not fine. It's fine. Early game G25 is good. Yeah. I would agree.
I will want a
Bigger line that. Let me get to Alarka Junction first and then we'll decide. Because I feel like going to Alarka itself might be a tension. Okay, seriously, you smell Kenosha. I don't know what you're smelling, but it's not Kenosha. Kenosha's not playing. Kenosha played it earlier. We're fine. Or how good's Oh. I kind of had a feeling, just had a feeling, it's just fun. And there's supposed to be a locomotion here. Kaboom! Don't talk about. Don't talk about it earlier in the stream. Number 2, what's your function? See. Do what there is to do. Okay, let's go to. Nada. Dang. Actually, it looks like we could perk this train. on a pass. So he'll be ready to come back soon. Okay. That's it. Just me. Ooh. Ah! 60. Oh, this this train needs to get a move on. Foreshadowing. Eight. Okay. Well then, we're gonna have to do this very, very carefully. We have to do this very, very carefully. Have to do this very carefully. Not gonna be able to get water till later. really cool. Yeah. Which ain't great.
Hello, Mr. Midland.
Brill.
Hey, Happy New Year to you.
New Year, and right, you were saying Happy New Year.
Yeah, I actually joined the stream when you started and rearranged my chores list so I could have my hands-free work last and be able to join in.
Yay.
Yeah, still got a office to clean and various other post-holiday cleaning up.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for streaming today. This is a nice thing to be able to listen to in the meantime.
Nice and chill.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Just
the
what
goal, at least.
yeah, just what the day calls for.
Well, let everybody
Except
calm down from their hangover.
yes, except that one part when you showed why text messages aren't allowed in the cab.
Don't talk about that. That didn't happen. Nope.
Oh.
Don't know what
Oh,
you're
you don't talk about that?
Don't talk about
Because I talk about that.
that.
Yeah, that's a lovely weathering job you did, number
Yeah,
2
it's a
there.
great
Looks
weathering
very realistic maybe for the desert. I don't know about that shade you used, you know? A little too much Floquil, what is it? I forgot what the color was. Shoot, been too long since I worked at the hobby store.
Brown.
Yes, that one. Spelled with extra W's. I actually had a bit of a topic I wanted to ask if you were interested to discuss.
Topic.
Since I'm... Yeah, a little bit. Only a little. Since I haven't... just a tiny bit. I haven't bought Railroader, and I feel like I'm one of the few of our friend group that hasn't. So at first I thought, well, sell me on Railroader, tell me why I should get it. But then I thought the more interesting thing would be, what mods or updates to the game from the devs, either one, would you like to see come out that would help you convince other people to try playing Railroader? What would you want to see changed before trying to sell it to a wider audience?
Honestly, the game itself, right now, for me, and I feel for at least 95% of people,
Mhm.
is exactly probably 75% of the way there to be. The reason
Yeah, I
say
kind of
that-
see that too.
The reason I say that is rolling stock variety is there. Sure, it's not exactly what we want, but close and stuff can get.
Yeah.
But if I was to try and wholeheartedly sell this, biggest number one thing I would want is for the trains to.
Yeah.
A lot of us are sick and tired of lighter on screens,
Right.
and
Yeah, that's
don't
been
get me
done a
wrong,
million times.
For most people, that might be fine, casually fine, and having that
Mhm.
option may still be important. But the stable multiplayer of this game does carry it. Now, I do know there's a few people I know who are getting bored of Railroader. Personally, I think that's because they potentially much and limit themselves entirely.
Right.
In the case
Yeah,
of the
that's
QNS,
totally possible in any game.
Yeah. In the case of the QNS, I almost entirely play it on stream, meaning I only play it for about 3 hours a day at best. Then I can go
Yep.
play on someone else's save, and bearing that helps keep it interesting. Me personally. But if I was to try
Yeah.
and
Side question on what you just said there. How different do you feel the experience is between you and your small group on the QNS versus joining potentially larger ops sessions? Does it feel completely fresh? Like
It
not
does. It's
so much playing the same game?
it still feels like I'm playing the same game, but because of the way because of the paths, yeah, they're kind of limited, but because of the voices,
Mhm.
as limited as they are, there's ways to keep it kind of like you go to
Yeah.
say the AM&W, basically have a massive class 1 chaos craziness obsession across the whole railroad.
Yes. Those are
Where-
fun to tune into also.
It's fun to tune into, and I'm not saying it's not fun. But then you come to the QNS, and oh, we only have Bryson the Whittier. We
Yep.
only have 6 little locomotives, one of which has been a storyline retired official duty. We don't have ops cars on our passenger train because of one, and it's for official duty. You know,
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah, it's
the
fun in
vibe
a
is
simpler. Yeah, fun
smaller
in a simpler
power,
way.
smaller railroad, that kind of.
Yeah, I
My
think
chat is saying AI with for single player or the whole of quality license, and I can kind of
Yeah.
agree with that. I personally, while I'm playing single player right now, I can have fun in single player as is, but that is partially because I'm limiting myself to I'm only a year to Bryson. I haven't tried to do
Yeah.
a Silva to Andrew full-on map railroad in single player. Pretty sure that's
Yeah, you've added a bit of your own boundary conditions to keep the game more interesting for you.
yeah.
Goodness knows we've been doing that in train games since forever.
Exactly. Now, this game does not have track building. Personally, for me,
Yeah.
this game does not have track building. If they make some improvements, put some more sidings.
Yeah.
This game would be perfectly fine though without track building, because if it had the trains actually.
Yes. For me and how I like to play games like this, if it had track building, I'd have it already, because I am very creative mode, build my own oriented. As I was thinking about this stuff while I worked through my other tasks before I joined chat, I was thinking, go back to the name, Railroader. At the moment, it feels like it doesn't live up to that name, but it feels like it's not far off from being able to do so. And the main reason I say that is, when does anyone play in first person? When does anyone really control a railroader and not the entire railroad? And I don't know, at first I was like, well, the game's... Yeah, at first I was kind of harsh on them, thinking, well, the game's really failed its premise if it doesn't incentivize you to play in first person, to play the role of a railroader. It's model railroader.
Yeah,
as it stands at the moment, with the best way to run, and really the only way that makes sense to run being the overhead view.
Yeah.
But then again, it's got this kind of exciting potential where it's partway there on not just the locomotive crew, because it's not engineer, it's railroader. It's all sorts of different railroaders where it's partway there as a dispatcher. The CTC panels looks pretty darn cool from having seen it on Casey's streams and the Jersey fundraiser and such like that. They're railroaders too. I was almost a dispatcher once. You're a good distance of the way there, you two, but make you want to play in a way that lives up to the game's name. It could be real close. Maybe start by fixing all the darn hitboxes.
Yes.
Make it so that you can actually do brakeman things when role-playing a brakeman. And maybe make it so that you can do them better in first person than in third person.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting to think what it could become in that category.
Potential is there. It can.
Yeah.
Potential is there. It can improve. As for Will they?
Yeah,
It really does.
I think a good follow-on question to all this speculation of what it could become is how much will come from the developers and how much will come from mods.
I don't necessarily want this game to be carried by mods. Mods are fun. Don't get me wrong, like adding in. But my personal opinion, if your game is being carried by mods, you have shown to the community of that game that you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. No one has to provide what they want. Yeah, I know very much what you mean. But there's also somewhat of a, well, no, what you said is literally true. But it's not always a bad thing. If we think back to MSTS, Microsoft decided, okay, we're done developing Microsoft Train Simulator content.
Yeah.
And the player base went absolutely wild. And I was one of them as a teenager. But when your game is this fresh after release, and when there is talk of extra things to add, like the whole discussion of 16 locomotives is enough at release, questionable.
It can be if the right
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to figure out what in the world's going on with my internet.
It's like
I find. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I find it weird. We start talking about how Railroad can improve, and all of a sudden my internet goes. Right. So, I don't know if that means the devs are listening.
Well, we can always talk about how. They're DDoSing you.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, talking about how ISPs can improve, that's a topic for a whole different kind of stream.
I have a feeling I know what's causing it. Well, let's just say we got some snow last night.
Yeah, a little dusting here too.
Well,
actually,
I think
still
the roads
flurrying.
might be slippery, so I think potentially. Somebody hit a pole, or hope not, or there's ice somewhere. Hoping it stabilizes, because otherwise this is a hell of a stream.
Yeah, I was just blaming Discord for the audio being weird.
No, I have.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm watching the connection. Okay, it was back to being healthy, supposedly. Cat, are you there?
Hooray for stream.
Stream. Cat, are you there?
To a healthy stream new year. Let's see, hopefully I don't... Well, I'm using headphones, so I shouldn't cause any audio issues. Oh, did it drop entirely? Shoot.
Oh, it still says streaming for me, though. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, I've got 14 watching from my perspective. Jeez, I gotta replace the microphone I usually use. I actually sound halfway decent on the stream.
We're still here. Okay. We're still here,
Hooray.
hopefully.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, folks. I'm going to keep an eye on that, because that could stream end a little early. If issues persist, because I don't want to stream and have it be bad. But going back to the other comment.
Sure.
Yeah, this game has the chance to be there. Will it be the most complete train game ever? I personally do not. And that's purely down to based to what I know about purpose of this game.
Yeah, what the folks develop. You don't always have to shoot for the biggest game in the world.
I don't think this game needs track building, but I personally want track building, obviously. Track building.
Right.
But I don't think
It could be a strong game without it.
Yeah, you can have a strong game. You can have an even stronger game with it. Does
Yeah,
it have
that's
all
my
the
opinion, too.
customization options I want? One of those things. It's just they have the chance to have an awesome game.
Yeah. And on one hand, it just thinks that there's so many rough edges at the moment, but it is kind of nice that we get to experience it already. That's always a tough balance.
It is. Like having a good upload speed with Comcast, impossible.
I'm so glad I got to leave them behind.
Oh, they're the only ones I got.
Although you could be part of. I forget it. Yeah, that was the same where I used to live. They were the only option. Hated it. But yeah, it could always be worse. You could be in the northeastern border of our state here and be stuck with Frontier, which I've never heard someone compliment their service. I don't know how far west they go. Hopefully they don't. Well, I don't know. If they went out your way, maybe their little competition would get Comcast to shape up a bit, but youch.
One can.
Sad internet is sad.
Keeping an eye on it.
Actually, on a related note, how's the game perform when the network quality gets...
Well, that's the thing. On the
like it
game,
is
I didn't
today.
realize the network quality was getting bad because, I mean, it's me hosting a server, so why?
Right. But when you're joining another person's game, have you had this come up? How's the game perform then?
I've had moments where it goes down, but usually it's like my stream will go down.
Okay, well, that says some very good things for multiplayer stability.
Yeah.
Makes me want to get it a little more. I see things once in a while where I'll think to myself, oh boy, if Railroader added that, I'd want to get it. I'm not quite sure what exactly my wish list is. I suppose the number one factor would be...
I want a combine.
Yeah.
There is a perfectly good combine at
Yeah,
the
it's
Strasbourg
an
Railroad
iconic bit
that
of...
matches these coaches that I'm pulling right now, and it's not in the game. And
Yeah.
on the subject of golden opportunities.
Yeah. Or for slightly later era stock, there's a perfectly good combine at the Everett Railroad, which riding in that thing was a pleasure. Cool little piece of equipment they've got in very nice shape there. Not like they lack for equipment.
They were selling some stuff off of.
Yeah. Yep, things keep moving and shaking out that way. It's cool to hear about it through friends. But yeah, it's not like the Railroader folks lack for examples to work off of. Yeah, there was a really good conversation, and I wish I had written down who all was in the conversation, but a chat in one of our Discord VCs, where the discussion was, like, you need a couple ingredients to really make a game great. You need to be able to put yourself into it, which that's where I feel like that's part of how Minecraft has become my spare time over the last couple months.
Yeah.
It is so easy to do that, especially with with a couple mods that we run on the Heist members Minecraft server. Minecraft does sort of fall on its face when it comes to immersion. Like, everything is in a totally different art style, and you never quite get away from the core gameplay of, don't get blown up by a creeper.
Yeah.
But it's just so incredibly strong on the self-insert aspect of it, where I feel like Railroader is almost the opposite. It looks quite good, sounds quite good in many places, but you just don't feel like you yourself are there.
Yeah. And there's a lot of games that could. A lot of games.
Yeah.
This game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed.
The game that will not be named
Pushed
will
its-
forever remain uninstalled on
Yeah. Having pushed its limits when it comes to trying to make it immersive. Yeah, a couple hundred hours in, and it was like, no, this wasn't really worth the time.
Like,
Although in that case, I think
I initially
it's
had
worth
fun with it.
mentioning that. Oh yeah, same.
I initially
But I think it's
had
worth
fun.
mentioning how much. I'm sorry, I keep
Oh, good.
cutting off your thought. One of the big things that makes that the game we don't talk about anymore is that the multiplayer aspect was so unbelievably frustrating. And Railroader's got that taken care of. And seriously, look at it go. It keeps performing even after your network latency is so bad your streams died. Frankly, that's awesome.
Hope the stream hasn't
Too bad for the
died.
stream dying, but
I hope stream has.
No,
since I'm still streaming.
your previous example. Sorry, I don't mean to give you an aneurysm here.
The instant panic.
Ah,
Really trying
Sorry,
to
man.
give me panic here.
no, if I wanted to panic you, I'd have hooked up the air whistle before I joined stream. But knowing Discord, it wouldn't pick it up.
No, it's. Did I get enjoyment out of that? Or I play.
Yes, the enjoyment petered out pretty quickly. And a lot of it comes down to it breaking your immersion. You see more game flaws than you see the world you're trying to escape to. And it just keeps knocking you out of, your vintage railroad escapism. For me, where just about any flavor of history is like the connecting material that pulls all the different aspects of life together for me and really gives me an infinite source of creative energy when I come up with an idea that I want to try and put into a game. I tried that with the previous railroading game, and no, it just wasn't there. Just kept not feeling the early logging railroad narrow gauge era that I was already interested in from outside of gaming. I was pulling some old rail out of the woods of family property, going to the library for books about logging railroads, because trust me folks, not everything's out on the internet. And
Definitely.
it just wasn't
There is a real world
keeping
out
me-
there. Go see it.
Oh, geez, yeah. Yeah, if you think everything you need is out on the internet, please tell me which internet you're using. I would like to read the complete guide to rebuilding 1940s and 1950s Bendix Westinghouse air compressors. Thank you very much.
Yes, please. Go-
Yeah, forward me that link if you could.
What version of the internet? Hey, give me an
Yes.
update.
How dark of a dark web do we have to go into to, I don't know, find some in-service photographs of military buses in the United States? Yup. But yeah, but jokes aside, actually, a train of thought has run through the shop and straight into a bumper at about 20. Don't know where it was going aside from that. Was that too soon?
uh, uh, this game is good.
Yeah.
Good base that they have to work from. I hope they continue to.
Same. I do feel like it's only a matter of time before I decide it's time to join you guys in Railroader. I'll be interested to see what changes, what mods come out, stuff like that. Until that point.
Don't get me wrong. When I say modding community takes over, means that doesn't mean I don't want to see mods. I don't want to see. I don't want to see the game instantly become like, oh, you need all these mods to get base level function.
Right.
Really should have been. So many times that's happened. Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. There's actually a very good example out there that actually has a shelf life kind of comparable to Microsoft Train Simulator when it comes to the back and forth between mods versus developer content. Another one of the YouTubers I follow, of course, aside from our group of friends, Captain Shack, or the XP Gamers, is his YouTube channel. He does sci-fi gaming and modding, mostly modding showcases. Star Wars Empire at War came out in, he said 2006? I haven't played it, but he does excellent Let's Play series of it.
Yeah.
The developers actually continue to release updates to the game. And the crazy thing that I don't see anywhere else, and I wish we'd see it everywhere, is the developers release updates based on what the modders want. This game has like total conversion mods to change it to entirely different sci-fi universes. Completely rework like core game mechanics within the top-down strategy game, Age of Empires style for those of us of my age group. But yet, like just this year, for a 2006 title, they released an update where there's now a 64-bit version of the game, and it fixed a whole slew of crash issues. And it works for all these mods. It's not like the modders have to, redo their entire, all their work to make it work. And it's just such a cool thing to see. Not only a dev team that comes back to their game. What is it? It's 2024 already. This game's 18. This game's old enough to vote.
Pretty much. Going off of some stuff in chat here. No heist today from Random Snake. Yeah, no heist today. In fact, don't expect heists most of them. Like 99%.
He is the Spanish Inquisition. You don't expect him.
Exactly. If he shows up, awesome. And I will graciously accept up. However, he is his own man with his own schedule. Very busy at that. Job,
True.
technically. So,
Yeah.
if you're coming here to expect the heist, change your expectations. Yes, Nazu, I saw Railroader updated. It actually updated before I started. Okay there.
Oh, did they release any notes on what changed?
I didn't.
Okay.
It could have.
Basic stabilities updates.
Yeah, it could have just been like The reason I didn't see anything could just be my Steam update.
Yeah.
First things first, let's get number 2 into house that is round. And Azu came here and expected a Midland. Got it. Wasn't sure happened. And you got a Brill too.
Yeah. I actually stopped lurking for once. I seem to do that too much. I hope not menacingly, but yeah. I am an internet wallflower.
Number in the round house. So what can you not fixed up, cleaned, not broken
Yes.
it. As he's like, working is good. It can be. Working is fun.
Sometimes it can lead you into cool things, like, touring the YouTuber whose community you've dived into over the past 2 months around the museum you've worked at for ages.
Yeah.
And meeting cool people.
Passenger is it? Map. Well, those poor saps are all going here. Go.
Yeah, all the little tasks you're mentioning to do are really cool things to have in the game, and more signs that they're partway there on a lot of cool things.
And this became amusing. Do the thing. Yes, do.
Yes. And don't be discouraged if the first experience you have trying to go out and actually do the thing doesn't go quite the way you want. Not every visit to the museum I volunteer for goes great, but there's a wide world out there, and there's a lot of fun experiences to be had. And every place has such an interesting, different culture, and it all comes down to the big reason why you should do the thing. Every individual person makes a difference. Now, you can be the reason why the stripes on Johnstown Traction Company car 311 are as accurate as they are. Or if I got something wrong when I had some help from my wife. Actually, she was, I think, still my fiance at that point. And a few other volunteers. That was a cool project I got to do. I think I got him just about right. That thing was such a rust bucket back in the day, you could barely tell in the pictures. Yes, it comes for all of our favorite things. Hopefully it doesn't come for us. That would mean we're robots.
If it comes for us, that'd be a small problem.
Yeah.
for 5 out of the 060s.
Sounds like a good day. At the moment, it's a day of, oh gosh, how long has this can been in my pantry? Oh yeah,
Answer.
it's a new year already.
Yes.
Jeez. When cans dated 2021 suddenly are like, how did I forget about this for 3 years?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a couple years. Where did the first third of the 2020s go?
Time is an illusion?
It is. Yep. Time is an illusion, and cardboard boxes are mysterious enigmas where you swear you have a bunch of them sitting around ready to be used, but when you need them, they're nowhere to be found.
Find them randomly in the closet when you.
Yes, exactly. Either that or the cats took them all. How they take things several times their size, I will never know.
Ooh.
Oh, they absolutely do. Yeah, I mean you over there in the armchair looking all innocent. I know what you do.
As the engine's filling with coal, I'm going to take approximately a glass. So I'll be right back.
Be like a steam engine, don't forget to hydrate. You won't explode as dramatically, but your brain might. Hooray! You will not suffer a crown sheet failure.
Yay. I will not personally suffer.
Yes. But you know, your own crown can definitely fail when you get dehydrated. That's a thing I struggle with as a work from home employee is
Yes.
Sometimes just being too in the zone and not remembering to, get a glass of water. It really, oh gosh, when I feel dehydrated, or by the time I figure out I'm dehydrated, my head is in such a crummy, unproductive space. So yes.
It's
How about
when
the
you get
water tower,
dehydrated,
folks?
You get that headache. All you want to do is lie down. Problem is,
by the time you get that, go ahead.
Problem is, at that point, the last thing you want to do is lie down. You need water.
Yeah. By the time you get to that point, you're going to take a while to recover from that.
Yeah.
You have pretty well messed up that day, and maybe the next one.
How bad.
But, at least it's easy to correct it once you recognize what it is. But yes, we are like steam locomotives. Don't forget to water us.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And speaking of work from home things, I think it's worth mentioning that there's valuable contributions to make from home for organizations that do the thing. There's a gentleman at Rock Hill Trolley Museum who's not able to make it out to the museum site, but he does a ton of really valuable volunteer communication stuff, takes care of the paperwork of annual renewals and stuff like that. Real rock star of saving people time so that others who are able to make it out to the museum site regularly can do more when they're there. Get some busy work. So there's countless different roles out there. And it's not to say that's for everyone. you may find that that just really doesn't work for you. But make sure to check out more than one organization too, because again, they're all so different.
And on the subject of work from home, some of the stuff I do a lot of stuff on site, but I also do a lot of stuff from home. Part of my duties now basically plotting, which is basically site more.
Midland is always plotting.
Here we are. Got number 5 yard switching, and got the passenger train blasting at 30.
Presumably not on the same track, because I can't watch the screen right now.
Nope, not on the same.
Good news.
I will have to be over on that track at some point, but
Time may be fake, but different trains on the same track, as long as they're separated by time, are A-okay.
passenger hopefully get.
That's one thing I find historically hilarious about Railroader. That passenger trains are the cash cow. Since when?
I mean, they can't. Honestly, the bigger freight trains make the most out of anything.
Okay.
The passenger train, I can understand being a cash cow in a little sense, but not. You definitely, if you were expecting to only make money off of passenger trains in this game and not do freight at all, you're not going to be able.
Okay, that's a little closer to reality. Good.
Like, you can have a big road freight go to the interchange and make you $1,000, whereas a passenger train will make you money. And it, depending on how you set up, can make you, but it also is making you it's making you little smaller sums of money more often, if that makes sense.
Actually, that does fit pretty neatly in historically how that sort of thing would work.
Basically, like, almost on par with, like, a local.
Yeah. And I guess from what I've seen of how the contracts work, you're somewhat limited in how many freight cars you can move per day, whereas passenger, you can kind of farm that a lot in a single day.
Kind of. You are limited by how many cars you... Like, the contracts dictate how many cars.
Mm-hmm.
But the you can still, like, overfill an interchange.
Yeah. I guess that becomes some of the incentive to go unlock the other interchanges so that you can continue to expand your number of freight loads coming in each day.
But then the craziness starts, because I'm waiting to the time. I don't know if I've seen it yet. I haven't, just not right now. I'm waiting to see the time where you get something at the Andrew interchange, Silva paperboard. Like, you could just send that to the Silva interchange.
I don't know how much world building there really is in the game. Are the interchanges supposed to be 2 interchanges with the same railroad?
I believe so.
Okay.
Like, one end's the Southern, the other end, a different short line.
Oh, all right. So you would have some bridge traffic potentially interchanged in. Well, I don't know. That depends on what the rest of the world map looks like.
You would definitely have some. Yeah, Chalia, that was earlier when that dropped, unless they just dropped another one. But I think that was early. I have that. I know my game updated. That hopper. Empty, but See?
Yeah, the time to load and unload thing definitely looks a little weird from my third-person perspective.
Apparently it is unloading. Don't know, like, what metric
Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing.
What might be cool is if the industry had certain hours, when employees are working there. Some of these industries would be round the clock sort of things, but I don't know, like the log pond. It should take a minute to dump a log car.
Oh yeah, not even.
Counting, making sure it's secured, undoing all the chains, stowing the chains once you're done. Yeah, maybe it would add up to 60 seconds. Maybe. But then maybe there aren't staff out there ready to dump logs at all hours. So, if you make a log delivery last thing before nightfall, maybe nothing happens until the next day at 7 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah. Also, I kind of forgot something.
What's that?
Guess what has to come back to the Whittier interchange?
Ooh.
The bridge train.
You know what would be really funny? It would kind of get frustrating if it happened too often. But paperwork mistakes. Where, I don't know, if you... well, you don't have to staff offices in this game. Something like you would get the wrong destination for a car. It would look for all the world like the car has to go here.
Yeah.
It gets there, and then all of a sudden its destination gets updated, and it was like, oops, we mixed up the waybills, or something like that. A thing I got a while ago that I don't think I've mentioned this to the friend group at all. I should really pull these out on the voice chat sometime. It's a bunch of waybills, and then corresponding letters between a northern Pennsylvania short line called the Wellsville, Addison, and Gailton, and the Seaboard Airline, where the Seaboard and the WAG were basically like, hey, this one shipper on the WAG keeps mislabeling what commodity they're shipping to get a better rate out of both of us. Here's what information we have. What info do you have? Let's get these guys. Let's stop having to correct every single waybill from this one rural industry.
I don't know what.
Oh yeah, I would bet that sort of thing continues to happen now, even after all the way rates are handled and so on like that changed in the late 70s, early 80s. Oh, I forget what it was. They were listing... I can't remember the names.
I'm
but just
hoping
for
it's like we're listing skill at the paper rate, not like we're listing sulfuric acid as normal petroleum gas.
It was a furniture plant, I think in Genesee, Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. I think they
absolutely
made like drawer slides, the metal castings that, or not metal stampings
Yeah.
that let not just like dresser drawers, furniture drawers, but like heavier duty stuff.
Yeah.
And they were listing them as like rough metal stamping, like unfinished materials. But no, they were shipping out, finely tuned, probably with
Finished
ball
product.
bearings and everything, furniture parts.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, hang on, that's a very different shipping rate. And you've been doing this habitually. Cut it out. And it's just hilarious that there's a back and forth between the tiny little less than 100 miles rural railroad who's actually picking the stuff up and the seaboard who's actually shipping it to presumably some
Somewhere.
high volume customer on their system.
Or like some
And they're like,
distributor.
yeah, they're like, okay, yeah, this is bad for both of us. Let's compare notes and
And
go
this
knock
guy's
on the door in
cards.
Genesee.
According to Bandit, mix-up labels could be, but not more than one car. Yeah, you wouldn't want it to be like.
Exactly.
You wouldn't want it to be every other car in a concept. Like that would just be bad.
Oh, well, that would pretty much never have happened historically, too. That would be way overdoing the game mechanic. And you know what else? That should be like a checkbox option if they were to implement that. Because in a multiplayer session, that could be great fun.
They're gonna be like, that car's not supposed to go there. It's like it's not the entire time it was supposed to be. That would create some fun friend arguments.
Oh, absolutely.
That would definitely create. Like, you put that car in the wrong spot. It's like that's where it was supposed to go. Chet
Mm-hmm.
checks the
That's what-
communication log bit with the business. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hey,
Yep.
then. We see the problem here. Because you wouldn't want it to, like, such an argument like Monopoly where you ruin, like, family.
I love how Monopoly is always the example there. So true.
Am I wrong, though?
No, you're not. Not in the least.
I'm doing some. So I just switched it to 1-to-1 time because I'm gonna need some more time in this.
Okay.
Because the distances are real, but time isn't. But I kind of get.
Time is fake.
Basically, I have a tanker here for the Eastwood interchange. I'm gonna tack it on to the bridge train, and then I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. That way, it's like still on the siding it's on, but like closer to.
Yeah.
Because I have one more car at Appalachian Hardwoods that needs train, plus one car down at Station House track. Go on this train. And it's just I don't want to have to keep going back and forth for everything.
Right. And yeah, if the railroad found themselves in a situation where they had to go back and forth for everything, they'd be making changes real quick. And not everything has to follow real railroad practice, but like the potential for a optional paperwork goof up thing, dig into historical practice and find things that make the game fun, because they're out there for sure.
Right now, I'm about to dig into this freight train and see if a 6 could even pull it. We're doing okay so far, likely because we're going.
Oh, yeah, you and the Mallard both.
Oh yeah, this is definitely done. Okay, we're gonna be okay for a while.
Oops, did I say that out loud?
We subscribe to Duck for Dinner.
Yes. And not just for New Year's.
Alright. Well, the people of Oil Place are gonna be mad because they're blocking their private crossing. They know what they say.
Yeah, Private Crossing in a world where the one truck never moves.
Back.
Yes.
That's another thing I would just to make the world feel more lived in. I would want more buildings. Like
Yes. That was
even if
what
it was just
killed
like
the
a GIF
previous.
animation, like I would
Uh huh.
want. I would want it to feel lived.
Yeah, the Derail Valley cat.
Yeah.
It just walks in a circle, but it is so well animated.
So Northwesterner.
Yeah, the world feeling cold and dead was what killed the previous multiplayer train game for me. I mean, aside from instability and, yeah, the rest of it.
The stable multiplayer of this. The problem is once you get to a certain point, playing it in single player is not manageable, even with the.
Yeah. The stable multiplayer is great and it will carry it a certain distance. It can go a greater distance with other things improved.
Yes. Doo-doo. What?
No, I don't know what.
Whee! Let the cars roll down the hill.
I love it when
The
I.
handbrake.
Speaking of things running around on their own, I love it when I come into the main living room of the house and immediately see one of the doormats is
Like,
kicked
on its
onto a
own.
really weird angle.
Whee! My cat.
Yes. Zoomies.
Bandan. Correction. Kenosha had only just started, so it wasn't during. And I didn't kick them. I merely let them roll down the hill. Different. Tell me I'm wrong. Different.
No, this is true.
I did not. The throttle was shut when the cars were released. Therefore, it is not kicking.
Does that make it punching?
I think it means it makes it letting go.
I mean, you could kick something while coasting, but yeah.
There's that. Sounds like. I think that's. You know.
Ooh, nice.
This bar.
One sort of pet peeve of mine from the early days of watching the release version of Railroader is that any reporting mark can be on any car. Oh, come on. Those slab-sided steel box cars, those are a Milwaukee thing, if I remember correctly. It's like, why? Well, is the Milwaukee even in the default reporting marks? I know you can mod that list, but
Don't.
yeah, it's like, why can't you? I don't know. Why aren't there sections for each different type of car on the rolling? I suppose they're not. They're trying not to get that in the weeds on it, but it would be a cool thing.
I think
Add a little variety.
They also don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much the trademark and copyright issue would come into play, but I feel like they're.
Yeah, that's true. That is a factor these days.
Whereas if you are making it random, and obviously they're leaving the logos out.
Right. Yeah, which
think
saves you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're going through a lot of trouble to somewhat vaguely avoid that issue. So
I see.
maybe keeping things as.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't connected those dots.
I'm not a copyright or trademark lawyer, so I genuinely don't know.
I feel like you would be far less interesting to hang out with on voice chat if you were.
Like,
Nothing against them,
well,
but
you're
your life
shunny.
experience. Yeah, your life experiences seem to make a much more interesting person to chat with.
Hope so.
Arguably one of the more despised professions of our day.
Yeah. So the money.
Copyright law.
The money that some copyright lawyers get.
Well, that's true. That all depends. Does said copyright lawyer maybe volunteer their spare time and donate those fat stacks of cash to a worthy cause? Could be a very cool person to get to know. Go do the thing. Go do the thing and keep an eye out because Steamboat Willie's going on a bit of a crazy streak.
Steamboat Willie is going on a well-earned cruise around the world. That was.
All right, Mr. Karate Sensei, who knows all the different kinds of kicks.
That was. Literally, that's actually one thing. How much money? We got $3,900. Buy the next milestone for the bridge line to Fontana. $1,500. Line to Fontana. Yeah. Start the next cars order. Got that. $2,000. 20,000. 18,000. What happens when you buy a Hobbs card?
Ooh,
Debt.
big spender.
Well, I bought basically at the end of one of the stream. I think it was the last stream of the year on the QNS at least. I bought 2 060s and an Obs car, and I didn't have the money, so I got like a $20,000 loan because I had like 5K in cash on me, and it just wasn't really enough to kind of do anything I want.
Right.
Like, you know what? There's a way I want to run this railroad and try it. And I think it's working.
Yeah.
The true test will come in with.
Okay.
Which was, I wanted the 060s to handle the local industries around Bryson, Whittier, as well as the Bryson yard, Whittier. Like, basically being a Whittier yard job and a Bryson yard.
Yeah, creating some variety of operations for people.
Yeah. And
like it.
And those yard jobs would also go up to sawmills, though I haven't bought any cars going up the Walker Bridge. Then I would have 2 060s doing local freight service between Bryson and Whittier. And they would basically pass each other, in an ideal sense, would pass each other in Ella. But basically at the start of they would end their run in the opposite location that started the run. Basically every day they would swap locations.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
And then obviously you would have the passenger.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. You essentially have locomotives stopping at each division point, getting service there, and then returning to the other division point.
Yeah. As small as it is, that's
Neat.
5 miles.
Yeah. Doesn't matter the length, just matters how it's organized.
Yeah, and this might change a little bit once I get up Blarka Junction.
Yeah.
Here we have a little Osto waddling away.
Can you visually see much difference in how the different locomotives track in the game?
I noticed that the 060 waddle, like, hunts back and forth a lot.
Nice.
I don't know if it's just a
Cool to see.
characteristic of the 060, but it does, like, noticeably move back and forth.
Nice to have that included. It is kind of amazing how much, in a train game where you actually bother to play in first person, it's amazing how much the hunting back and forth adds to the immersion. Especially when you're used to judging your speed based on how much your real-life rail vehicle is hunting back and forth.
Back to Bryson. Why? some point we're gonna pull out number 3. Almost had a being coasting down a hill. Oh. Don't do that.
Bad train.
Train. This is part of the dance you have to do in some.
Yeah.
Oh. Here. I'm. Five's coming. Wait. That's fun.
Oh, that is.
Okay. I'm number 5. As it pulls 438.
Nice. Well, some of those 6-0s were like that.
Touch. Yes, number 6 highballs out of town again. Hopefully they make me more money. You like them.
Yeah, one thing I'm somewhat curious about, well, the dollar amounts down low even for historical amounts. Do they give like any date or anything of when the events of the game are happening?
Not entirely. Or so like
Yeah, some of the rolling stock is like what 1890s, 1880s, stuff like that. It could be quite the range. Makes me think that it would be more 1890s, 1900s with how low the purchase prices are. But a lot of the equipment looked a lot more modern than that.
is a lot. Punk. Eyeballing out talent. Oh, we're power's a stream.
Nice.
That's the one thing. Time seems to go quick, but also time seems to move slowly when you're playing single player.
Yeah. Long seconds, short hours.
Yeah. A lot to do, so it makes it go quick. But it doesn't feel like you got anything done. I still have log runs down in Whittier.
Oh.
Now, luckily, I have 5 cars ready to go, but still, it's like... already 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh. Like, this is definitely at a point where more people...
Yeah, sounds kind of like that. That would be the sign of a really well-developed game when there's useful stuff to do, either single player or multiplayer. Especially even on the same save.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm getting stuff done, which is nice. It just feels almost overly.
Yeah. Like as you're doing your current task, your mind is on how many other tasks are currently going unattended.
Or being AI.
Yeah.
How did take the road. Luckily, it doesn't look like it needs any pickups.
Nice. Sounds like that's a job made much easier with the AI engineer.
Yeah. So I may AI it here. Passenger supplies.
Mm-hmm. It's a decent sized train for a little branch line in the like shown in the game. Or I might have misheard that. Not sure.
Well, it's 473.
Okay, yeah. I thought there was an extra one in there, but chalked it up to Discord being weird, potentially.
Wait, no. Good. Number.
Probably singing the blues. Oh wait, wrong Ella.
We have 25 passengers. Here. Passenger. Hi. Angry. Great. Angry, is the debt paid off yet? Not quite. We paid it down a little bit. Paid it down a little bit, but you know.
So what gameplay difference? What gameplay difference does it make when you have debt to pay down?
Well, I'm going to pay down another 1,000.
Make angry less angry. Yeah, are you locked out of anything in the game while you have debt, or is it just you
really.
have a limited amount?
Angry is always angry. Sword Center will soon be under 100k in debt. Well, that'll be an accomplishment for the Southern. Not gonna lie, that will be an accomplishment for the Southern. Paying down debt though is good. Because if all you can do is make interest payments, then good luck. I don't know what the actual consequence of that is. I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
Feels like it. I think I understand what you're saying there. I'm not too sure on that. That one? Maybe? Possible.
Oh boy. Among my cleanup tasks was to assemble like fishing or bug catching net was shipped as a kit. And I just noticed that the cat fits. He was messing with something he wasn't supposed to be, and it's a long-handled telescoping net, so I just gotta gently swish the net down. Yeah. And he fits exactly in it. I swear cats are a fluid, not a solid. They take the shape of their container.
That's true, they do. Definitely do.
It was like, yeah, there's no way he's gonna fit in this net, but at least it'll get him to leave whatever thing on the floor he's trying to eat alone. But no. Even if he does not necessarily sits, he may just fits.
Then- Go in there. Oh, wait. I wouldn't say sadly. I can understand why, especially. Apparently, cold graphics kind of.
That's cool. It's nice that they picked something on which quite a few railroads based their livelihood
Yes.
to be the, I don't know, the metagame way to make money.
Like the Alorca coal stuff. It also really likes clogging the no matter which one
Well.
you have.
That also makes sense.
Get a fusee.
So I've got a bit of a brain puzzler for you and or for chat, whoever feels like answering, that I always think of whenever somebody mentions fusees. And the question there is, the only place I've run into fusees in preservation is there's a cabinet on Philadelphia and Western Bullet Interurban car number 205 that is labeled fusees and paddles. Can anyone guess what a paddle was for on the Philadelphia and Western? Hint being it was a third rail interurban.
Where was it?
Sort of the opposite of that.
Oh, to make sure it was dead. Work.
Well, to make sure what specifically was dead.
Oh, so you put the paddle on the third rail connector.
Yes, exactly. The paddle was a piece of wood that you could use to break a 600-volt circuit by hand and lift the overrunning third rail shoe off the rail.
Fun.
Essentially the equivalent of pulling the trolley pole down, but yeah, for when you don't have trolley poles. I think that's the only piece of equipment I know of that had fusees on it. I would imagine some of the work cars would have had them as well. But in many cases, the city transit equivalent of that, I actually own a pair of them from Philadelphia Transit Company, were just oil lanterns. Often with either I think the one that I got that I'm pretty sure has its original globe has an amber globe to it. I would imagine red was the thing too, but they tended to not be railroad lanterns. They tended to look more like a civilian barn lantern with a big fuel tank on the bottom. And it's essentially a lighted traffic cone.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't see any indication they'd have been carried on a streetcar or a bus. I would imagine a work vehicle would have a bunch on board. And if it was out at a work site at night, you'd put a bunch of them out. Other fun go do the thing sort of story from Philadelphia and Western preserved electric cars at the Rock Hill Trolley Museum. Work car number 402 was at first it was just a interurban a boxcar adapted to take sharper curves. It was later made into a self-propelled freight motor in its own right. It was basically the maintenance transport on the Philadelphia and Western after it got sold secondhand midway through its service life.
Yeah.
So it was stocked with stuff for helping to clean up derailments, stuff to potentially help work on the track, things like that. Well, one day, not every day goes to plan, 402 derailed at low speed on some switch work in the yard that was due to be replaced like just a couple months from then. 402 is one of the heaviest cars in the fleet, so it's not too surprising that it found the biggest flaw in the track compared to others. And yeah, we knew that was a possibility, so it was going dead slow and dropped one axle off the side of the rail. Okay, this isn't so bad. The group of volunteers assembled there are like, okay, well, we got to gather some stuff up to put this back on the rail. Somebody suggests, hey, why don't we just look inside the car? Because nobody cleaned the thing out when it arrived at the museum. You know, we kind of left it in the state we got it in. So we climb on board, and sure enough, hardwood blocking. All the stuff that you would need, aside from, a re-railing frog, which they didn't even always use on trolley lines. It had all the tools to re-rail itself. And ultimately, that's what it did. 2 different volunteers took a stab at it. The one guy that had run the thing for decades, who just made the thing an extension of his own mind, could move it a couple inches at a time when the guy watching the wheels called for it. And sure enough, with its own motors and the equipment and bunches of hardwood stored on board, 402 put itself back on the track.
Nice.
With the original stuff left over from its stay from the 40s to the early 90s on the P&W. Yep, you never know when you're going to do the thing that the railroaders back in the day did.
Be good to add to the soup.
But yeah, so even when things don't go to plan, go do the thing. You'll have very neat experiences.
Best. Station. Number 3, not number 1. 5 is currently away. And when this train gets parked, I think we're going to call stream there once the train. Because we are sneaking up on that 3-hour mark, apparently. And just as I say stream is ending, Boo Mario arrives.
Hello.
Hello, Boo.
How goes it?
Well, you missed an entire chaotic day on the QNS.
Good. Oh.
So far, it looks like my bold strategy of locomotives, different locomotives doing different things is working. But we're also coming up on the end of a 3-hour stream here. So I'm going to flick up the stream ending screen. I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank Brill for joining us. I want to thank Boo for joining us for the 5 seconds he's appeared. I hope everyone has a wonderful new year. Thank you for joining us in the year. Thank you for helping get us 501 subscribers. It really means it. I hope night goes super well. All of you. Much happy.